Okay, so we're going to take a look today at how you remove dust off an image from a digital SLR or a piece of film that's been scanned into your computer. Okay, so I'm in Photoshop and I've got one of my recent images here. All the editing is done, although there's a couple of problem areas with a bit of dust on it. So we'll take a look at how we can remove that. There's a couple of ways of doing it. You can either use the clone tool or you can use the healing brush, and in particular the one I like to use is the spot healing brush, as this means you don't have to sample from an area. You can just click on the dust spot and it'll disappear. I'm using CS5, and if you've got CS5 then you'll notice that there's a new content aware option which allows you to click on an image and Photoshop will look at the surrounding pixels to try and blend the repaired area as well as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new layers adjustment, or a new layer, which you can do by clicking this little new layer icon down here on your layers tab. Okay, and I like to rename my layers so I know what I'm working on and what I've done to each set of layers. So I'm just going to call this retouching. Okay, and click off. Right, now the top left of the image is particularly bad with dust, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to use my Command and plus key, which is Control and plus on a PC, and then just press the space bar and click and drag. Okay, so you can see this area here has quite a few bits of dust, so the easy way of doing this is just zoom in a little bit more. Okay, we can make the brush a little bit bigger with your right square bracket key. So right square bracket makes it bigger and left square bracket makes it a little smaller. Okay, so you want it just big enough to cover the dust. Okay, so let's click on the first area, and as you can see it's really quick and easy. You can click and drag and just go through and select all the dust. Okay, so there's a little bit here. I probably should have cleaned the sensor on my camera, but we can clean this up very quickly and very easily. Okay, so just moving around the image now, any little bits of dust we can just click and remove. Now some of the modern cameras do have built-in dust removal, and this is pretty effective. There's just a small filter across the sensor, and that vibrates when you turn the camera off and turn it on and turn it off rather. But you will still get the odd bit of dust on. But if you're using an older camera, then it may not have that feature built in. This was taken with a D3 Nikon camera, and there was no filter on that, so you have to do it all manually. Okay, so just moving around, you can see a couple of bits here. Just moving across the image, find any with the bits of dust, and you can just click, and as you can see it's very easily removing the dust. It's just working out the surrounding pixels and seamlessly blending it, so that's really quick. Okay, let's see if there's any more. Couple of bits up here. Okay, just a couple more bits down in this corner as well. Okay, now there's a couple of bits over here on the building. These will require a little bit more careful work. So for this, because there's a bit of a pattern, I like to switch to the clone tool. And again, zoom in a little bit more. Now this, you have to choose the source of where you're going to clone from. So you do this with an Option or an Alt click. You can get little crosshairs up, and then as you move over, you can see it's giving you an overlay. It's following the cursor with the area that it's going to replace. Okay, so we can just clone that in. I've just removed part of the dot there, part of the rivet on the building. So we'll just select that and replace that one. That's nice, and then there's another bit up here, another problem area. So we'll select, Alt clicking, and then if you move over you can see where it's taking the information from, and that's got rid of that quite successfully. So zoom out a little bit, see if there's any more. This image looks pretty good. You can go in, I'm going to switch back to the spot healing tool and just clear up some of the marks on the building. Not strictly dust, but it just makes the image a little bit better. Okay, that got it wrong there. So you can undo that just by pressing Command or Control Z. Let's have a quick move around and have a look. Okay, so we seem to have got rid of all of the dust. So that was very quick and easy. The other way, like I said, is to use the clone stamp, and so we've selected that. Let's just try and find another little bit of dust, and we can show you how to remove that. there's a slight problem there on this cloud, so I'll zoom in. Tiny little area there. So you select your area to clone from, pressing the Alt key switches it from the brush to the source point, make a click, and then we can just paint that in there. Okay, so that's my image pretty much done. I've just spotted another bit. Okay, right, so that's the image done. We'll zoom back out and let's just see, toggle the layer on and off, and you can see the changes I've done. If I go back into the top left corner, that'll be easier for you to see. Okay, let's turn it, that's with it retouched, and that's before. So before and after, before and after. Okay, thank you very much, and thanks for watching.